What's going on? Good evening. Good evening. Happy Thursday to you. Welcome to Pro Fan Talk. My name is Marcus Thomas. Thank you for joining me. We are happy to be here tonight. A lot of stuff going on. Philly is lit, as AJ Brown said after the game. We are lit. We are in a rare, I don't know what you would call it. I gotta contact my boy Rupesh, who's all in the taking pictures of the stars and in space, and what do they call it when all the constellations are in that certain alignment once every 1,000 years or something like that. You know, we are right there. The Eagles are ready to go. Phillies are rocking. Sixers just started. The Flyers have interest. We are 4 for 4 right now. We are 4 for 4 right now. So that happens, when the moons are aligned and stuff like that, but it's a good time to be in Philadelphia. I appreciate everybody in here. See my grandson. Chris, you are not first out the limo. However, David Roskis, he's still in the building. Number 1 out the limo. Chris was number 2. My boy Vince, number 3, Life Before Death. I know who that is. Number 4 out the limo. I appreciate you tuning in, man. I ain't gonna lie, I appreciate that Bugs Bunny. That's old school. So, but anyways, we got room for one more. Number 5 out the limo. Don't know who it's gonna be, but keep it moving. But this is the week. Everything is going on in Philadelphia. You got the link was hopping because of the Cowboys being in town and everything that comes with that. When the Cowboys come to town, everything else stops. Unless you are the Phillies in a playoff game. Phillies is pulling all of the headlines, and rightfully so. Phillies are balling. They are battling to go to the World Series. Looked a little shaky coming down the home stretch, but they got it together. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do. They took game 1 in San Diego. Game 2 started out well, and then we just couldn't finish. San Diego's bats woke up, and they woke up hard. And we just couldn't get anything else going. And we ended up giving that game away. But we split in San Diego. That's what you want to do when you're away. You want to split. So now, as you can see, the poll question, Ranger Suarez will be going for game 3. And the poll question is he going to go at least 6 innings? Will he be able to go 6 innings? If you can go 6 and they'll leave you in for 6, that means you're handling your business. Anything after that, in this day and age, that's gravy, man. That's icing on the cake. So we got to keep it going. He's on the mound. Do what you got to do. We are in a good situation right now. And I like where we are. And I'm thinking that Phillies can make some noise. Phillies have a legitimate opportunity to take 2 out of 3. It would be lovely if they could take 3 out of 3. Got to keep them bats hopping. Schwarber launched a bomb the other day. Whoo, did you see that hit? He launched an absolute rocket. You saw Bryce Harper's face when he hit that ball. That joker launched that ball a country mile, man. Keep them bats warm. Keep doing what y'all doing, man. That's where it's at right there. That's where it's at. My dude, Tom Arnone, you number 5 out the limo, bro. I see you sneaking in there. What's good? But them fighting Phils got it going on, man. That bomb that Schwarber hit, that's some stuff you see in a PlayStation game. That's how far that shot was. And this dude right here, you just keep doing what you're doing, Rice. What up, TK? What's up, fam? Bryce Harper, man, you keep doing what you're doing. You are the proverbial straw that stirs the drink right now. You are earning your money. You are living up to your top billing. Everything that you would want a big pay player, big time player, elite level player, whatever you want to call them. Whenever you sign somebody like that, you have very high and specific expectations of somebody like that. This situation right here is what you expect from your primetime players. And Bryce Harper is delivering. Kyle Schwarber is getting hot again. He cooled off towards the end of the year and was catching a little flack. And it seems like he has caught fire. Keep it going. Whatever you got to do, whatever you got to drink, whatever pair of socks you've been wearing, keep everything the same. Keep everything exactly the same. Don't change a thing. Now, the one thing, got a nitpick. My man, stop. Dude, your defense, bro. Your defense got to get a little bit better. Young guy. You can say it's the bright lights, but at this point in time, he's been playing for too long to, first playoff, I believe. But you got to calm down in that field. Keep swinging the bat, but just we don't need no more of them E5s, bro. When you get an opportunity to close the game out, let's close the game out. Very interesting how baseball and football, two separate sports, but the same tenets remain. When you get opportunities, you got to take advantage of those opportunities. When I saw him throw that wayward ball, that would have been a double play ball, and that would have ended the inning. That would have ended the game. And he muffed it. Not muffed it, but he just, I don't know where he was looking to throw the ball or what just happened. I don't even know what to call that, the yips, or I don't know. But that's a play you make, messing around in practice and stuff like that. He does that a million times a week. A million times a week. But the one time you need him to do it right, he screwed it up. So it happens. Happens to the young players, happens to the vets, and everybody in between. So, take that with a grain of salt. Like Jalen Hurts says, flush that deuce down the toilet. Your teammates bailed you out. Dominguez came in and put everybody night-night, and we were good to go. Yeah, TK should have took his time, but he didn't. He didn't. That's just a situation where you're doing the same thing you've done a million times, but this one time, his aim was a half inch to the right, and it just caused a domino effect of things that happen. Happens all the time. Brian Daly, what's good, brother? Appreciate you joining me. Glad to see you. But again, that's why you have teammates, so they can bail you out of situations like this. So they can bail you out. But they're going to handle their business. So let's get to my boys. Let's get to the Eagles. Shut down them damn Dallas Cowboys. And it's funny. Like, as an Eagle, I hate the Cowboys. But I don't hate the Cowboys because I grew up not a Cowboys fan, but I grew up a Tony Dorsett fan. I was a little running back when I was a kid. Who didn't like 33? TD was the man. Tony Dorsett, I saw him on TV bust that 99-yard run. I watched that. And that left an imprint in my mind. So I can't all the way hate the Cowboys, but I hate the Cowboys. I hate how they operate now, and it's just like, and well, let me say this: I like Micah Parsons. That dude is a baller. If you've been following uh, my Pro Fan Talk YouTube channel, or if you've been in the Facebook group, you know I like Micah Parsons. In my opinion, Micah Parsons is the defensive version of Jalen Hurts. He's very low key, very even keel. He keeps it real. He doesn't go overboard. He ain't going to praise nobody and all of that kind of stuff. But he gives an honest assessment of what happens. And that's good to see down there in that mess. That's Dallas. Because Dallas, they got a tendency to get too full of themselves. And they talk a lot of smack. See DeMarcus Lawrence. So now all the memes are after, they'll play that clip of what DeMarcus Lawrence said last week. Then they'll follow it with the clip of Jalen Hurts breaking his ankles in the game. So, Jake Friel, I hope you're right, bro. I want to see my man go 6. At least 6. That means he's handling his business. But yeah, we put it on them. The Eagles put it on Dallas. It got a little tight for a minute, but they handled their business. They came back with it. They reestablished the running game and did what they do best. Now, me as somebody that I'm always looking at film. Of course, I went back and watched the all 22 and was watching the film, and I'm like, man, like we got. I think people like to think that Jalen Hurts and the coaches, when they say meat on the bone, we left a lot of plays on the table, on the field, things like that. A lot of people just think that's coach speak. That's just something to say when they put a microphone in front of your face. But it is not. I even heard Florio. I watch his show. I like Mike Florio a little bit. And him and Simmons. And he was asking, why do they say about leaving plays on the field? Like, you didn't leave plays on the field. You whooped up on them. So that's just something to say. And Simmons was just telling them, like, no, that's not it. And what Florio doesn't understand, and my comments to it was, you can tell Mike Florio is not somebody that plays sports. Because you would never, if you played any type of organized sports, you would never say nothing like that. Because you know you can't never play a perfect game. When you watch tape, there's always a play you missed. There's always something that you can do better. Always. So the Eagles left a lot of meat on the bone. They left plays on the field. When they say that, what that means is there was an opportunity to make a play. Make a big play, score a touchdown, make a block, whatever the situation is. There was an opportunity that was not met. So as long as we keep missing 15 tackles a game, you're leaving meat on the bone. You're leaving plays on the field. I love Marcus Epps. Marcus Epps is missing way too many tackles. I didn't go over the whole – no, I went over the whole tape, but I keyed in on 2 plays where he should have had tackles for losses, and he just missed the tackle. Marcus Epps comes up, and he makes the big hit, but he doesn't wrap up, and it's causing him to miss tackles. Brian, we will get into that. We will talk about Lane Johnson. We will definitely talk about Lane Johnson. But we've got some things we got to clean up. Some things we got to work on. My man MilesSanders, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I bring up MilesSanders because this week all of these CMC rumors started. Word got out that Carolina is looking for some trade deals. They're trying to dump some people because you already know they got to get a new coach. They got to get a running back. And they really have to get a quarterback. So they're trying to start from scratch, basically. They're trying to move up, get a good draft pick, because Baker Mayfield is not the answer. Sam Darnold definitely is not the answer. So they got to make some moves. So they're going to be starting from scratch again. They're going to be blowing it up and starting again. The Matt Rule experience was not as advertised and not as expected. What's up, sis? My twin sister's in the building, Melanie. But yeah, so all of these rumors popped up about is Howie going to try to get Christian McCaffrey, and I was like, why the hell would Howie try to get Christian McCaffrey? So here's the comparison. I believe MilesSanders is in top 5 in running backs this year, based on his performance. I'm not sure where McCaffrey is, but whether he's in the top 5 or not, McCaffrey, I would argue, is a better back than MilesSanders. Strictly because I think their running styles are different, but I think Miles is just as good of a running back as Christian McCaffrey. However, Christian McCaffrey is a much better receiver. You can line him up in slot and make things happen. But we don't throw the ball to the running back. Thank you, Sarah. My granddaughter talking about nice shirt. Kicks Closet shirt. If you like the apparel, holla at me. I know somebody. Now, this is my grandson's apparel company. So if you like it, give him a holler. Chris Hernandez, put your hand up so they know who you are. But yeah, everybody wants, or not necessarily wants, but they're talking about Christian McCaffrey. And I'm like, we don't throw the ball to our running backs enough. I don't think I've seen a running back screen yet. No, I take that back. We did run, we've run 2 screens that I can remember. We had to have had more. But I know they got, the play got blown up. So I know one situation it was supposed to go. That's right. It was supposed to go to Gainwell. The one got knocked down. So not knocked down, but Jalen Hurts threw it away. The second one, that was the one that was intercepted. That was the one that was intercepted, where Sirianni said he shouldn't have called that play. Should have kept running the ball. So Joshua, no, we are not giving up a first for a running back. Absolutely not. I wholeheartedly concur. Let me tell you what's going to happen. This is the conversation I got in earlier during the week, because I was talking to some people on the Facebook about this. If MilesSanders stays healthy, he is going to run himself into a good contract. Now, unless you are somebody like Debo, Derrick Henry, I think for the most part, Christian McCaffrey is going to get a good deal, but Christian McCaffrey's got to balance his injury history. His injury history is not good. But what Miles has to do, he is going to run himself into a good contract. The question is he going to stay in Philadelphia, or is he going to take the bag? Is he going to get that big-time contract? The Eagles, Howie Roseman, is going to do right by MilesSanders. Howie's going to offer him a contract, no doubt. And no doubt, Miles can probably garner a much, much better deal somewhere else. If he stays healthy, that's a no-brainer, because he earned it. As a player, this is what you play for. But Let me offer you some examples of why that, in my estimation, is changing a little bit. Yeah, Michelle, go for that money. But Von Miller, Devonte Adams, Tyreek Hill. Von Miller, Devonte Adams, Tyreek Hill. Only Von Miller, and this is just my opinion, only Von Miller, excuse me, only Von Miller is in a better situation than he was. Von Miller, right now, barring any type of injury to Josh Allen, it is my opinion that the Bills are going to be playing to go to the Super Bowl. Especially after that shootout. It might come down again to Buffalo and Kansas City fighting to go to the Super Bowl. Both teams look that good. My top three teams, Buffalo's number 1, Kansas City's number 2, and the Eagles are number 3. As good as Jalen Hurts is playing, Josh Allen is playing that much better. And Josh Allen can run the ball. Let's not forget. And they got a defense just as good as ours. So all things being equal, I got to get an edge to Buffalo just because I got to give the edge to Josh Allen over Jalen Hurts. Because as good as Jalen Hurts has been throwing that ball around, and he has been throwing that peel around, Josh Allen can throw it around a little bit better. So that would give the edge. Kansas City is, I think our defense might be a little bit better than Kansas City, but that's one of those situations where I could swap Kansas City and the Eagles. But because Kansas City's been there and they're doing it at a consistent level, I'll give them the edge. But just being in that conversation of those top 3, I'm good with that. Nah, I'm not underestimating it. Not underestimating it. Not at all. That's a good point, though. But I'm not underestimating it. If anything, I'm underestimating how our defense is playing. So I think our defense could give Kansas City a run for their money. However, you do have to take an account for Patrick Mahomes back there. What's up, Jeremiah? What's good, dude? Jeremiah, you know everybody, dude. Jeremiah be hopping from show to show to show. Like, dude, do you sleep, bro? But yeah, man. I don't think I'm underestimating our offensive scheme. I'm underestimating our defense. Or I wouldn't even say underestimate them. But to me, that's one of those things like Patrick Mahomes is a different beast. So I don't mind being in that conversation. I'm good with that. And as far as our offensive scheme, until we can show that we can consistently score points in the third and fourth quarter, you're going to always have that question mark. I'm not taking away what we've done in the second quarter and jumping out to early leads, because guess what? You got to be able to put points on the boards. I don't care if you put points on the board in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, or fourth quarter. But eventually it's going to come a point where we're going to have to score or come back from behind or do something late in the game. And I would like to see more points. But having said that, ever since the Lions game, that's something that people want to nitpick about. But you know what? Go ahead and keep nitpicking about it. Eagles don't score in the second half of games. That's okay. We still undefeated. How can you be undefeated and not score in the second half of games? That means you're taking care of your business early. What I would like to see is Sirianni and Steichen commit to the run game beginning in the third quarter. Like, listen, we're going to pound the ball because we know that they can't stop us. So let's do it early and establish ourselves in the third quarter that'll run into the fourth quarter. Why can't we do that? If we can have a drive that eats up all the clock like we did against the Cowboys, we can do that at the beginning of the third quarter. Why do we have to wait? I'm still not sold on some of our play calling a little bit. Although I will say this. The perfect play we had was that pass to Devonte Smith in the end zone. That was a perfectly designed and executed play. That was perfect. You put Micah Parsons in a bind because Micah Parsons has to make a decision. You either going to go after Jalen or you're going to go after and try to cover AJ. But somebody's got the focus is not where it should be. That's why Devonte Smith just kind of trotted back there to the backside of the end zone and was wide open. And props to Jalen Hurts, because some would argue that last year he would not have saw that. And I tend to agree. I would tend to agree. I am not going to just gloss over the fact of how much better Jalen Hurts is throwing the ball. And that fact right there makes him so much more dangerous because he can do that. Now remember, going forward, since week 1, he's only getting better. He's only getting better. So if he stays consistent, now would you classify him as an elite level quarterback? And that's an interesting question, because some people think elite level is you throwing for 350 and 400 every week and stuff like that. I don't necessarily do that. Can you stop him? Why is Tom Brady an elite level quarterback? Tom Brady's elite because no matter what you throw at him, he can pick you apart. Jalen's getting there. Now, he might not be able to dissect defenses and stuff like that yet, like a Tom Brady or Mahomes or Josh Allen or somebody like that. But what he lacks in that ability, he more than makes up for running with his legs. And now it is very, very nice to see that most of the time, because I still think we RPO a little bit too much, most of the time he is running, or at least he's been running this year to get out of trouble. And that's what he's supposed to do. Joe, I'm with you, dude. We need to go for that kill shot. We need to put the foot on the neck when we have a lead going into the second half. And in my opinion, we haven't come across a team yet that can stop our run game. So that's what you do. That's what you do. Establish that run game coming out in the third quarter, and you pound their ass in the dirt. The one thing I give credit to the Cowboys for, the Cowboys, they put Zeke back at ace, and they kept running that daggone naked boot. That is not something new. I ran naked boots in college. There is something to be said, and this is my criticism of always running out of gun formation. When you line up out of center and the quarterback takes that 6 o'clock step and he sticks his arm out with that ball in it, and everybody sees that ball. Everybody sees that ball. If you're the ace back, you're the two back, you're either running a 24 or 26. That means you're running over the guard or you're running over the tackle. You're running 24 or 26 slam. They might call it something else, but it's the 4-hole or the 6-hole. And when that quarterback sticks that ball out, any trained linebacker is going to flow to the ball. So when you stick that ball out and that linebacker takes a step, you've created 3 to 4 steps of separation between you and that tight end. And that tight end would block down, push off, and turn right back around and go into the flats. It was open every time. And we couldn't stop it. They were basically that. I call that an Aikido move play, because you're just using the defense's aggressiveness against them. We went for it time and time again, and they had a sweep play, and I'm hoping that the Eagles will watch that play on film and implement that in their offense. Because they ran a play, I was like, I got to give it up. That was another perfect play. They ran the same thing. They ran the naked bootleg, but this time they ran into the strong side. Tight end was on the right side. They booted to the right. He rolled out to the left. Or he fake handoff to the right, bootleg left. But here's the difference. The tight end is on the strong side. He blocks down, but lets the defensive end go. So the defensive end thinks he's beat. The linebacker watching thinks he's beat. So the linebacker steps up, and here's the key. The tight end goes flat down the line of scrimmage. He doesn't go up in the pass pattern. He goes flat down the line of scrimmage. And then he just kind of floats out about 10, 15 yards, wide open. I was like, that was an impressive play. I want to see stuff like that. That is my criticism of running out of gun. Because you don't get the separation running out of gun because you're running north and south. If you're a linebacker, the first thing you do is you step up because you think he's getting the ball. If the quarterback takes it away, the quarterback's still going east and west, not north and south. And even if it is a dive play out of gun, he still has to step to the left and to the right to do the fake. So you're still losing that one step of separation. One step doesn't seem like a lot unless you're going full speed. Because if you take one step the wrong way, that's 3 to 4 steps of separation if you are a running back, receiver, or a tight end. That's how you play the chess game. The minute you can get those linebackers to step up and our tight ends or wide receivers are going the opposite way, that one step up creates separation. Somebody should be open. Somebody should be open. We ran it perfectly against Micah Parsons on the goal line. They ran it perfectly on us with that naked boot, and we couldn't stop it. So, again, we got some meat on the bone. What's up, Greg? Hey, mama. So we left some meat on the bone. There's some things we got to do. I thought that they started running the ball on us. They had the big man in the middle, Jordan Davis, because Jordan Davis needs to play a lot more. But they started double teaming him. And it just seemed like Edwards was overfilling just a little bit. So he would come tight off that double team, and Edwards would over pursue, getting back to the hole. And a couple times, I know Chauncey Gardner, was it Chauncey? CGJ was flowing across, rolling with the man in motion, and he ran right across the hole, and Zeke went right underneath him. Gardner never saw him. And he ended up getting like 9, 12 yards or something like that. Greg, I feel you, man. I'm hoping you're right. Man. Got to ring that bell. Definitely got to ring that bell, bro. Michelle, JD. Which JD you talking about? You lost me. Yeah, Frank. I want to see some more offensive production tomorrow too, man. But you can't really complain. Can't really complain, Frank, because the bats have woken up. But, same thing we say playing football, man. The other team gets paid too. And you know what? San Diego's bats woke up. What you going to do? They get paid too, man. But I hope, Michelle, I'm going to assume you're talking about Driscoll. Because back to, man, let's talk about, Brian, where'd you go? What were you talking about? You said we were talking about Lane Johnson. Here's why. Let's go fast forward now. I don't like doing this because I know we got the Steelers coming up, but because we're a bye week, I will do this. Normally, I'm still a coach. I'm still a former player. So you concentrate on the week and the team that's ahead of you. You never look past it. But because we're in the bye week, I will do this. When we go up against the Cowboys again, when we go down to Dallas on Christmas Eve, Dallas fans just seem to think that we are going to be standing still. Like we are not as a team. Dallas talks like we are not going to progress as a team from last weekend. Like we're just going to stand still. They're going to get better. Dak's back and everything that goes with that. And we're just going to stand still. And we'll still be living off of last weekend's victory. And it's like, nah, that ain't happening. We're going to get better. Our run game's going to get better. We're going to attack Micah Parsons again. And not to mention, everything has to be healthy. Because I guarantee you, they are coming after Zach saying they'll be swiping and slapping that ball every chance they get. Rest assured. And not for nothing, Dak is rusty. You got to shake off that rust. So the Lions will have an opportunity to go after him. And I think they should. They need to go after Zach. They need to go after Dak like they went after Jalen Hurts when we played him that first game of the year. Charles Harris is a beast. Aiden Hutchinson is a beast. And when we played them, they had Aiden Hutchinson and Charles Harris on the same side, and they were bringing the funk. They need to do that same daggone thing against the Cowboys. Because quiet as kept, I know their record is not great, but the Lions are a good team. They're going to end up winning some games. And they got a pretty decent defense. I don't know about their secondary, but CeeDee Lamb is a good receiver. He's not a great receiver or an elite receiver, in my opinion. So I'm done with the Cowboys talk. We whooped up on them. They salty. They got every excuse in the world why we won. That was our Super Bowl. You should have been the backup quarterback. Blah blah blah. Yakety schmackety. Whatever you want to say. Because let's keep it real. If the situation was reversed and they did beat us, we would never hit the end of it. You can't beat a backup quarterback. Just wait till Dak gets back. You're not beating us, and all of that. You hear the same stuff. So you know what? When it's our turn, it's our turn. So we'll talk that talk, and we'll see you at Christmas Eve. So done with the Dallas talk. But one thing I found out and looking at some stuff, I haven't watched any film on them yet, but the Steelers, I don't know if anybody heard this. Put something in the chat if you heard about this story. Did y'all hear about Mitch Trubisky and Deontay Johnson getting into a fight at halftime? And some people are speculating that's why Trubisky got benched. I don't know, Michelle. I don't know how much time CeeDee Lamb has. But he's the best receiver they got, so they got to keep him. But did y'all hear about the fight? So I don't know. Pickett ended up getting hurt, so we'll be dealing with Trubisky again unless I believe Pickett got a concussion. So I'm not sure how. I guess it depends on what he does this weekend. I don't think they're on the bye, so we'll take our chances with the rookie. So, and again, this is where it comes for having Jalen Hurts as your team leader, keeping everybody on the even keel, not getting ahead of yourself. Getting them to understand that every week is a different week and you concentrate on the team at hand. Don't look past us. Yes, they do always have excuses. Joe, you are right. Yeah, Michelle, I didn't hear anything about it either. I was looking at stuff, just going through some stuff online, and I was like, huh, that was interesting. It was at halftime. So, and I know they got before they let Pickett start. Yeah, Pickett did get a concussion, Joe. They got that footage of I guess it is Deontay Johnson like throwing a tantrum because they're not. He was open. He was open, and he was pissed off that Trubisky didn't see him. So that leads to that makes me think of some interesting things because all of that time when OBJ was in Cleveland and all of those times he was open and his dad put that video footage out and all those times he was open and Baker Mayfield didn't see him. There's something to be said about that because I remember when all of that happened, OBJ never said anything. OBJ never said one word about it. He just went out there, kept his mouth shut, kept getting open, and Baker Mayfield kept not throwing him the ball. So there's something to be said for that. But it's just a bad look. The optics of it don't look good, but things get thrown out the window when you lose it. They get thrown out the window when you lose it. That's one of the things back to kind of going all the way back. I don't know why I went on a tangent, but when we were talking about MilesSanders, when he gets that contract, is he going to stay in the culture? We're building a winning culture right now. Nick Sirianni done planted the flowers, that whole thing. So now we have a winning culture. Why do you think Deshaun wanted to come back here? So when Miles gets his opportunity to get the bag, are you going to choose like Von Miller, Devonte Adams, and Tyreek Hill? Are you going to choose the money over the culture? In my opinion, ain't no way in the world Tyreek Hill should have left the Chiefs. No way. He was already making a ton of money. The Chiefs were going to pay him a lot more money. The Dolphins just decided to pay a lot more money than that. So he took the bag and decided he wanted to live in Miami and be a part of that lifestyle. He might not ever make it to another Super Bowl or a conference championship. That's the choice. Do you want the bag or do you want the win? He's got a Super Bowl ring, though. So his hunger might be a little bit different. He's been to the top. He got his already. Von Miller is in the best situation because Von Miller looks like they might be battling to go to the Super Bowl again this year. So he has had no fall off. Devonte Adams is in the worst situation. It made no sense. You want to play with Carr over Aaron Rodgers? Like him or not, Aaron Rodgers can sling the peel. But it seems like he's such a jerk. You going to leave your Hall of Fame quarterback, guaranteed. You're going to leave that guy to play with Derek Carr? That's your decision. And you got paid for it. And you pushing photographers on the way off the field, you're so pissed off. So now you got more issues to deal with. Break off that civil settlement in court. The dude getting paid, he going to retire from being an NFL photographer. Interesting point, though, when we talk about culture. Interesting point, Michelle. I like D-Jax, but we don't need D-Jax here right now. The only way I would consider D-Jax coming back to the Eagles is if he just wanted to be a returner, because we definitely need a kick return or a punt returner. But if y'all remember, D-Jax was in LA with the Rams. And for whatever reason, I don't know if he wasn't getting along, whatever situation was, he asked to leave. He's from out there. He's from the West Coast. And he asked to leave the team. He asked to leave a Super Bowl team. That got to hit you where it hurts. And it wasn't like he couldn't see that they wasn't good. They were good all year. So what happened? I don't because that didn't seem like the locker room. That wasn't a fractured locker room, and now obviously there might be some things going on that nobody knows about, and all that kind of stuff. But when he had the chance to stay, he could have stayed in LA. But I don't know. And he lost out on a chance to get his ring. Lost out on the chance to get his ring. He might not ever get that opportunity again. And in my estimation, that's why he's doing it. Ravens got a good chance to go to the playoffs. I think they will make the playoffs. Djax helps that situation. I also heard OBJ, did he sign with Buffalo? Was that a rumor or did that actually happen? Because if OBJ is in Buffalo, Lord have mercy. That's another weapon that Josh Allen has got. And remember, you got Von Miller politicking for you. And you know OBJ itching to play, so. Yeah, I know. Hasn't stayed healthy. So, okay, so Vince, he didn't sign with KC? We'll have to see. Because that's going to be that. If Buffalo would make that happen, that would be interesting. I haven't heard anything. I saw that he was thinking about signing with Buffalo. But I don't see anything. Checking the phone, I don't see no breaking news or nothing like that. Sixers losing. Wide receiver from the Jets is asking for a trade. That's another interesting one. He's asking for a trade and the Jets are winning. Culture, man. Everybody, they want that culture until they're not the man, or like I don't understand that. Usually when a situation like that is going on, that means somebody's not getting their way. Or the coach ain't putting up with your crap. Yeah, I don't see anything about him. I don't see nothing about him. So we'll find out. Kelsey redid his contract to free up money. On his podcast, he was thinking that it was to get money for OBJ. I remember hearing about that. Yeah. Yeah. I think OBJ would have been good here. I wouldn't mind seeing that signing. He'd have been good here. But I think the fact that AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts were such good friends that was a slam dunk. Vince, I'm cracking up. Everybody calling you Edward, bro. Got to laugh at you on that one. But in any case, man, it's culture versus that bag, man. Culture versus that bag. You can see it to me that's a personality thing. Some people just they in it for the love of the sport. Some people in it for the money, and there's no wrong answers. Joseph, we got a third down back, man. We got a third down back. If you're talking about necessarily like a big back or somebody that can catch the ball, that's why Gainwell's out there. If you need a big back, we got Trey Sermons, but we not running them. And I'm not going to complain. I can't complain about the way MilesSanders is running the ball. I'm not going to do that. MilesSanders caught criticism in the past because he likes to do the jump cut. Being a back that does jump cut, that is your style. But the way he's been doing it, he has been successful. He's not necessarily jump cutting and cutting back. He's getting into the hole and getting back north and south. So if that's what you're going to do, that's what you do. You make the adjustment in between the tackles and you get north and south. And for the most part, he's been doing that. He's not jumping and trying to run around everybody or trying to beat somebody to the corner or to the outside. That's usually what happens when you have that style as a runner. But he's finding the hole. That touchdown, the hole was covered, and the linebacker over pursued. Vander Esch went around the back thinking he was going to plug that hole. Miles saw that, and he just took one half hop to the left and walked in the end zone. Come on, man. So sometimes that's just his style, man. I want to see Trey Sermon get some more reps, but I don't think we need to change something. We don't need to change that right now. They're in love with Boston Scott. I like Boston Scott. Boston Scott runs hard. He's not going to break away, but Boston Scott runs hard. Boston Scott, in my opinion, is our best tackle-to-tackle inside runner. MilesSanders is our best back. Don't get it twisted. But Boston Scott, at his size and the way he runs, he's always going to have the advantage because the low man is going to win that battle. Where he has problems is if you got to move the pile. Now it gets a little bit harder because I don't care how good of a runner you are not going to win. You can't battle physics. Bob, everybody keeps saying that. We need another back because Sanders gets hurt. You can't worry about what happened last year. He's doing what he's got to do this year. We got 3 backs. We got 4 backs. If Miles get hurt, I fully expect they're going to stick Boston Scott in there. Trey Sermons will be the third. And I want to see Trey Sermons get some more run, but it's got to be in the right situation. You don't want to just stick people in there, stick them in there. I'm the type of person, I want the person that's best for the job they got to do. And right now, that's MilesSanders. I can't worry about what happened last year. He got tweaked up a couple times last year. That was last year. Right now, he had 4+ yards a carry. He's number 3 in the league, I believe, at running backs. What do you want? When people complain about that, you can't do that. You can't pick and choose what you're looking for. Right now, he's one of the best backs in the league, period. The stats say that. He's one of the best backs in the league. So you can't bitch about how we're running the ball or we need somebody else about what might happen. You can't do that. That's prime example. Maybe we need to get another quarterback because Jalen Hurts might not be able to throw the ball in 2022. You can't do that. Like I want to see Trey, but even with Trey, that goes back to my criticism of running out of gun. I don't want to see Trey Sermons run out of gun. Line that joker up 6 to 7 yards deep and let that big boy get a full head of steam going north and south. Or at the very least, put him in pistol. If you're not going to put Jalen Hurts under center, put him in pistol. But you got to start doing that. You got to stop running. And my wife will attest to this. This is when I'll be yelling and screaming at the TV at home watching the game. When we run the ball out of gun formation on the freaking goal line. You can't do that. You got to get ahead of steam. That irks me to no end doing that. And I still say that some of our goal line play calling still a little suspect. But with that play I saw that, I can't complain about that. I'm nitpicking. My bad. Yeah, I mean, Sanders is running for a contract. This is his contract year. They're trying to get value for him. So it's going to be a win-win either way when it comes to Sanders. He's either going to elect to stay, because I saw that report that they put out. I think he said something on Jacob Media on one of the shows in the morning. And it was, let me see if I can find it. I saved it. I want to see who's. I want to give credit to who said it. No, I can't. Oh, hold on. There we go. Trying to be here for a long time. That's all. Trying to make the case. MilesSanders on staying in Philadelphia via John McMullen, Jacob Media Sports. He wants to stay here. He wants the culture, but he ain't gonna play for free. So it is my estimation that Howie is going to offer him a contract, but it's not going to be a, Scrooge McDuck Moneybags contract. He's not going to get that. And he will most likely get a better offer somewhere else. So for him, it's going to come down to, do you want to stay or do you want to take the bag? The only way that doesn't happen is if Howie Roseman just says, yeah, we're going to let you go and we're not going to re-sign you, period. Then he's a free agent and he'll get paid somewhere. He'll get a good deal somewhere. So, we'll see what happens. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, man. All I know is finally this year, for the first time, you're treating MilesSanders like he is a number one back. You're feeding him the ball 15 to 20 times a game like a number one back. And he's producing like a number one back. Stop complaining. Stop looking for another option when we got the best option. Because if he wasn't, here's what we would be saying about MilesSanders. Man, he gets hurt too much. Yeah, but he doesn't, he's not a home run hitter. He's not a breakaway speed kind of guy. He never scores. It's not like he be in the top 3 in the league. If he was top 3 in the league, maybe I would say keep him. If he averaged more than 4 yards a carry, maybe I would say keep him. We found the reasons why we don't want him, but when all of those boxes are checked, now you start reaching for stuff. Now you start looking for stuff where I just like that guy better than what we have because I like that guy. That doesn't necessarily mean he's the best guy for our team. And right now, Sanders is getting it done. Period. Let him be. Keep feeding him the ball. Keep running behind Mailata and Lane Johnson. And let's keep running that ball down our opponent's throats. And let's do it a little bit earlier. Let's do it a little bit earlier. I will say, though, every game we need to run some type of variation of A.J. Brown getting hit with a slant pass every game. Nobody can cover him. A.J. Brown is like a power forward. Every time he catches the ball, if you ever play Little League basketball and you play power forward down on the blocks, they tell you to get that hand up in the air and you stick that booty out and you go up so you can box out and get the pass. That's how he catches the ball. He catches the ball with his hands better than anybody else on this team and arguably in the league. He catches the ball with his hands. And he uses his body as a shield to create separation. That's why he has so much yak yards. Nobody wants to hit him, and most people don't understand how big he is. If he was another 2 inches taller, he would be roughly the same size as DK Metcalf. So put that ball in that man's hand. Let him keep doing. And you see what's going on when he gets hot and Devonte and that triple threat, man. We are in a good situation. We are in a good situation. And I got to give props. We got a new trio that we need to be talking about. Everybody talks about the Batman. So we got to come out. We got to come up with a new tag for our defensive backs. Technically, I should have put all 4 because Marcus Epps is playing well too. So you can add him back there to the mix. But these 3 boys right here, these boys are shutting folks down. James Bradbury has been above and beyond expectations. I knew he was going to be good. I didn't know he was going to be that good. I knew we got a steal when New York couldn't sign him. I didn't know he was going to be that good. Slay, didn't know he was going to be that good. Knew he was good, but not that good. Gardner Johnson, everybody knows about the play with Tom Brady. That's it. He stood up and Tom Brady's face crossed his arm like, now what? Avonte Maddox, yeah, he's playing okay. Hosea Scott, yeah, he needs work. But I like Maddox in there. But right now, these three right here, best in the league right now. Hands down. You'd be hard-pressed to find another secondary that's playing this good. I think that kid out of New York, Sauce Gardner, he's the real deal, but they're not there yet. These boys right here, they got the stuff right now. And what we got coming off our edge with Hassan Reddick, and BG and Hassan getting it done. Now, they were saying that Hassan Reddick had a slow start. I didn't necessarily agree with that. Because to me, just because you're not getting sacks doesn't mean you're not making plays. Because there are a lot of plays before the Washington game where Hassan Reddick was right there. He just didn't get the sack. But he got there. Possibly it could have been a quarterback hurry. Possible the QB could have seen him in the corner of his eye and had to make an adjustment. Anytime you can make a quarterback make an adjustment, deliver that ball too early, deliver that ball too late, that is to our advantage. That's what you got to do coming off that edge. You're not going to make a sack every play. Make the play without making the play. If you almost getting there and BG's almost getting there, somebody gonna make it happen. If you feel that heat coming from the right and you step left, and that gets Brandon Graham a step closer, you made the play without making the play. And these boys are playing with confidence. They are challenging. I wish they would play a little bit more man and stop with the zone stuff, because zone leaves us vulnerable, like that play I was describing earlier. The Dallas ran the bootleg, and the tight end just kind of floating out in space. It's too far to cover. And there was a couple times, and I would expect other teams to use the same thing, because everybody watches film, they're going to do what was most successful against us. And there were a couple of times with TJ Edwards, he wasn't out of position, but he can't cover that whole middle zone by himself. And the way the formation played out, Dallas won the chess match with the matchups. Everybody got a man to cover. He's in the middle by himself. That's a lot of ground to cover, and he's not the fastest guy. He's got good speed, but he's not one of the faster linebackers in the league. If you're going to do that, I would say put Kaiser White in the middle on situations like that. Kaiser White should be playing safety. Or you see, that's why Micah Parsons backs up in coverage. When you that big, when you 6'3" at linebacker and you run a 4-3, you can cover wide receivers. Kaiser White don't run a 4-3, but he's got good speed for a linebacker and he can cover. But that chess game, that matchup leaves us vulnerable. So I do look for teams to try to run that same play against us going forward. And we got to find a way to stop it. So I'm about to get out of here, man. I want to watch this game tonight because this, I think, will be an interesting Thursday night football game. If not for nothing else, I want to see DeAndre Hopkins play. It's a shame Hollywood Brown just got hurt. DeAndre Hopkins is coming back. The Eagles-Cardinals game is totally different if DeAndre Hopkins is on the field. We had a hard enough time with Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown surprised me. I didn't realize he was that fast. But Hollywood Brown balled out. Now, if you had Hollywood Brown and DeAndre Hopkins, that's a problem. So I'm very interested to see, because I'm pulling for Kyler Murray. I don't want to see Kyler Murray get thrown under the bus. So should be a good game tonight. It's not going to be a bore fest, I don't think. So, but all right, man, I'm about to get out of here. Got some stuff to do. Got some new things coming up. Appreciate you guys for hanging in with me. And listen, I'm trying to do some stuff. I got my YouTube channel, Pro Fan Talk. I'm doing some other things over there, but I will be on this channel every Thursday. My daily content is going to be on my Pro Fan Talk YouTube channel. That is my personal stuff. I'm going to be doing stuff there. So because I want to do a little bit more breakdowns of film footage on my all 22 tape, but I don't want to do that here on this site because I don't want to give them copyright strikes if it comes to that. So I'm going to do that on my own site, and I got some other things coming back and some new things I'm going to be trying. So what I would appreciate is if everybody goes to my YouTube channel and subscribe, because this algorithm is a pain in the butt to deal with. So I'm trying to figure it out. Talked to one of my frat brothers who works for Google, and he wasn't much help, but I'm trying to get every angle I can get. So, but I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate all you guys joining me. Please, please, please tell a friend about me. Share my link. Even if they're not football fans, tell them to join on the page. They ain't even got to watch it. So I'm trying to grow. I'm almost at 1,000 followers on my Facebook page, so we're getting there. That'll be a big thing when I hit 1,000, because I remember when I had 35, and it's a grind. So we making it happen. I appreciate you. Get some rest. Let's go, Phils. Let's get this win tomorrow. Let's take 3 out of 3 at home and put these puppies in bed and go to the World Series. All right? Go Birds. Ring that bell, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.